everybody, welcome to Ask the Anabolic Doc, starring Dr. Thomas O'Connor, brought to you by his websites, metabolicdoc.com and anabolicdoc.com. Dr. O'Connor is the author of America on Steroids, A Time to Heal, available on both those websites as well as Amazon. And how many days we got left to shop for Christmas? About 12, so get on it, people. There's still time to get it for your loved ones. And Dr. O'Connor, what are those? I see palm trees, I see sunshine. You're in Fort Lauderdale, I guess.
And, you know, I don't forget where I come from, Ron. Muscular development. We just got off the plane probably, 90 minutes ago. I'm looking at my beautiful assistant. Yeah. And we pulled it. You know, we had to set a few things up, and we got into the hotel. And we're down here ready to rock for the next couple of days. We got a full house, full deck is stacked with tons of patients, overloaded. Yeah. But I have to do my show with muscular development. We got to ask the anabolic doc. So I'm down here and on the beach of Fort Lauderdale. I do apologize for the people that are drinking behind me in the hot tub.
You'll be there in like an hour, right? Yeah.
Well, first I got to do my speed cardio on the beach, and I'm finally gonna buy a really nice bike, like a pedal bike, a hardtail though. I don't need my shock because I'm not up in the Northeast. So, but I have to practice my wheelies because one of my goals in life is to ride a very long wheelie. You know how hard that is, Ron? That's freaking hard.
I don't think I've ever had a wheelie up in the air for more than like a split second, ever.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it with my mountain bikes and stuff. It's really fun.
Now you're going to be biking flat on the beach, I assume, instead of...
Well, beach. So you got the beach right over here, yeah. And that's like the fat tire stuff, but I'm going to probably get a bike to cruise on the beach a little bit, just around there's some safe areas like off of like A1A where it's not too crazy.
Okay. The topic this week, you know, you suggested, it's a really good one because unfortunately we've had another named bodybuilder with a major health problem, and this is a guy originally from Iran, now living in Canada. His Americanized English name is Isaac. Eshag would be the Persian name, Eshag, and I'm going to take a stab at this last name, Qavidel, I don't know. It's Quavidel, and he's known as the Persian King. I saw him compete at the Toronto show back in early June. Massive guy, massive. He was 9th place in about 20-man lineup. He's pretty good, and unfortunately he was diagnosed with a sarcoma. They found 3 brain tumors. They've had 1 taken out. He still needs, I think, 2 more taken out. And he's up in Canada, which has free health care, but only if you're Canadian, apparently. He is not a Canadian citizen, doesn't have a passport, so he's had various like GoFundMe type things set up to pay for his medical care, which is estimated the surgery is going to be like $500,000, which, you know, knowing what Ronnie Coleman spent, that doesn't even sound like a lot to me compared to that. But wow, I mean, what was your first reaction when you saw this story break?
So it's so sad. How old is this man, Ron?
I didn't look. If I had to guess, I'm going to say mid-30s. He's a single dad. He's got a young daughter. She looks like about maybe 8 or 9.
Yeah, young man. I mean, it's rare. First off, you know, it's rare. We got to be careful here. My main work and the work that I do, I don't see this. This is very unusual, thank God. And we're going to talk about what potentially could happen, and I'm going to be very careful. I see steroids causing cardiovascular and kidney disease. That's just my comment. Men come to me to get off of steroids and to be transitioned, usually on TRT. Let's just be honest about it. Yeah. And I do, you know, I do appropriate medical grade PCT. And this is my whole life. And the next 2 days where I have like, I don't know, 10 guys, it's all going to be the same stuff. It's going to be, they're all on testosterone. Some of them are actually guys that are just on TRT and they just want to see me. But most of the guys, Ron, are coming in on, they've been on gear for years and they're like, look, I like to be on testosterone, you know, doc, so please help me. But my heart, it's all going to be heart and kidney mainly. And then, of course, the acne and the hair loss and the mood stuff and the sex. I mean, that's kind of, that's all the, you know, the quality of life fun stuff. But, okay, so I don't see this. I've been the anabolic doc for well over 10 years, right? Yeah. I mean, as a medical physician and really involved in primary care and taking care of people itself for really since 2002.
Okay.
So 18 years, so coming up, through 20 years, I guess. I mean, a long time. And I've seen brain cancers come in different types. The glioblastoma multiforme. I just have to remember these things, because I don't see them. That's the guy where you hear, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir, you have this brain cancer," and then 6 months you're dead.
Wow.
That's not what this is. This is not a GBM. So I'm a physician, so let's see. The sarcoma, again, I didn't research this, so I'm not prepared to research it, and there's no research to be done. It's rare. So he has a brain malignancy. Now, a lot of these, Ron, are not really so malignant, but they're mass occupying. So they grow in there, and then I assume he presented with dizziness, loss of consciousness, seizure, or some neurologic phenomenon. That's what we see. And he didn't just present like, "Oh, I'm not feeling, I have a cold today, I don't feel good." And God knows men and people itself, when they're young, they don't go to doctors and hospitals unless they fall down almost, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how he presented with some neurologic sensation, or loss of vision, or again dizziness, or something. And then they did a CT scan of his head, and there we go. There's nothing. They did a CT. He went to a doctor or an emergency room, and they did a CT scan of his head. So and then they saw this massive tumor, and then here we are today. So go ahead.
Well, the link. I mean, obviously, when anything happens to a bodybuilder, and granted, most of the time there is something to it. There is a basis for their hysteria, but immediately when this story broke, I'm sure a lot of people said, "Oh, it's something he took. It was a steroid. It was a growth hormone. It was the IGF-1. It was something he was taking for his bodybuilding. Must be responsible." When you and I both, you more than I know, I hear about people with brain tumors all the time. They're not bodybuilders. People get brain tumors, and I've never heard, like you say, you deal mostly with damage done to the heart, the blood vessels, the kidneys.
Yeah.
Sometimes the liver, but I don't hear much of a link. I've never heard anything substantial linking steroids to cancer. I have heard that anecdotally in the bro science buzz about growth hormone.
So here's what we're going to do. So Ron, this is why I want to do this. This is why the take-home message of this show is this. Okay, so there's steroids and growth factors. So let's just talk about the data. There is no data, but what's the worry? So if you have cancer, is uncontrolled growth. It's cellular growth. It's not controlled, and it's growing large. It's malignant. Okay, right? That's what cancer. I don't care if it's cancer of the skin, melanoma, or if it's cancer of the stomach or colon. It's a tissue, and it can be any tissue, and it's dividing rapidly and growing into a mass, and it's going to kill you either in the region. It's going to grow large, and it's going to invade the brain, which if you see those pictures, see that's a space occupying lesion. You saw on the CT scan. You could see they were pushing in the brain, in the back and the front. Horrific, and he had symptoms based on what part of the brain was affecting. So they have to remove those, and please, neurosurgeons are neurosurgeons. Those are brain surgeons. They have to be careful, so they leave him not paralyzed, or so he has no deficits, with his cognitive function or motor function. So getting back to the steroids and the growth factors, anabolics, let's bring Lyle Alzado into play.
Yeah.
He had brain cancer.
Right.
This is 20 years ago. Anabolic steroid. Now, there's some things, Ron, that I will say no and absolutely to, guaranteed, slam dunk. Anabolic steroids didn't cause this.
But he was on every talk show.
So that was 20 years ago. You're right. So didn't cause it. And then he actually, let's launch off a little bit, but we will come back to Isaac. Unfortunately, we'll come back to this. Yeah. So anabolic agents, performance enhancing drugs, and cancers, and so on and so forth, and disease. We know a lot about disease. Again, it's heart disease and kidney disease, psychological disease. It shuts your brain down, and we know these are things we know. It doesn't cause melanoma. Now, growth hormone. Supposedly Lyle Alzado was taking growth hormone. Remember back then? They didn't have the preparations they have today, Ron. They were taking it from a cadaver's pituitary gland. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think synthetic growth hormone became available I want to say around late 80s, maybe? Early
90s.
90s?
Well,
90s?
I don't want anyone, we try to make the show very accurate with our data, but who cares?
Yeah.
So we don't know. Lyle Alzado, though, I'll bet you, because I know some of the people around him, because it's more my age guys this day and age, and I have patients that know Arnold personally and trained with him back in the day. They're still around, those guys, and Mr. Americas and Mr. Universes, Mr. Americas, back in the 70s and 80s. I know these guys, and you do too.
Yeah.
So this guy, Lyle Alzado, claimed he had a brain cancer, and he was cachectic. Remember, he had the do-rag on, and he was skinny, and he died from a cancer. We don't know if no one's going to know if it was a brain cancer from another place, a cancer from another primary site that went metastatic to his brain, or it was primary brain cancer, which it might have been. It might have been a GBM, glioblastoma multiforme. That's that and pancreatic cancer. You give a hug and you say goodbye. There's nothing to do. Those are the ones that no one, I don't care what doctor you are, what CT scans you check, and those are just rare genetics. But this guy was taking preparations from a cadaver. The bottom line is this. It wasn't from good old school Anadrol and Depot and test back then. No way, Decadroblin. No way. Anyone that says that would be stupid and misinformed. He said it because he was suffering at the end of his life, and he felt guilty, and he really felt it was from everything he did. Now, growth hormone for cadaver, this is the inside line, and it's been written about, and bro science guys know this. He might have had Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease.
Yeah.
And that's a prion. That's a prion, and it could act like cancer, and it could turn in and relate to cancer in the central nervous system. We're done with him. We don't know what that was, and it was just bad luck and just bad.
So just to put a lid on the Alzado discussion, it was never even confirmed that he had brain tumors?
Not that Ron. He had cancer.
Yeah.
He was massively deteriorated, and he died cachectic, and I don't follow the case. He died rapidly. He just checked out of sight, and he died within weeks, I assume. So he said brain cancer. I mean, he could have had AIDS, for crying out loud.
I mean, there was never, I don't remember any kind of autopsy results, anything like that.
I'm not going to go into the hate, and this and that. It doesn't matter. He was a great dude. He was a pretty wild dude. I think some people probably say he wasn't such a great dude because I think he was pretty wild, and I think he almost killed people in bar fights.
He almost killed people at Gold's Venice several times, right? He used to pick up people using machines he wanted and toss them like rag dolls.
He wasn't a good guy. I mean, you and I both know the same guys who know him, and the stories from L.A. to New York were freaking wild. This guy was, obviously, I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed. Oakland Raiders? Am I right?
Yeah, I think when he played, they were still in L.A. I could,
LA Raiders.
I could very well be wrong, but I think it was the L.A. Raiders before they moved to Oakland.
But he was, look, back in the 70s, guys, Ron, you will attest to this. We know the same guys who are still alive. Fucking steroids in the NFL, game on. They were expected. They didn't stop that to the 80s and 90s, I don't think. They were just.
At all, but whatever.
I do agree with you, but I know that I told you about the Wizinator.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at these guys.
These guys are. I mean, they're just not. It's hard to say. They're so gifted and they're all in one place together. So let's go to Isaac. So here's the truth. This poor man has a brain cancer. We pray to God they remove the cancer, and going back to bodybuilding and being a pro. No. A miracle. Here's a miracle. Because I've seen this kind of brain cancer in just regular people. Very rare though. Yeah. You resume your life, hopefully, and you walk and you talk, and you breathe, and you're humble, and you enjoy your life for whatever degree you can. Again, I could be. Neurosurgeons remove the cancer, and they remove it, and it's done. Doesn't come back, and the more importantly, they don't damage his central nervous system when they're in there. He has a long road ahead of him, and I do pray for him.
But why do you say he can't go back to bodybuilding though?
No, I'm a God, Ron. Again, I don't want the haters to hate. This is no joke. This is not like just remove it and let's keep going, guys. So, and then this is going to segue us into our topic, Ron. So I take care of a lot of rich men too. I take care of anti-aging guys.
Yeah.
I'm a scientific ager. I decided what I want to do in the future. When I continue to do this, I have another division. Instead of anti-aging, it's called scientific aging.
Oh boy, you better hurry up and put a patent on that quick.
We're going to get it. We'll get it. So what is that? What's scientific aging? Well, understanding the principles of internal medicine, and first off, don't have a heart attack. And if you're on testosterone, game on. But let's block the effects of some of the bad effects like we're doing for you with the heart and the calcium scores and the blood. This is all I think about. So, Ron, men have been coming to me for years and years and years from anti-aging places. Why do you think I'm here?
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale. Well, for the weather, obviously.
That too, and I got to get a break. But I'm taking business away from anti-aging. I'm coming at you fast, guys, real fast. So because men want to go, they want to go to a doctor that will understand the things they like with testosterone and steroids, but is not going to say, let's start growth hormone and IGF and all these other crazy drugs and just like hope for the best. Because now they've come to me and they're in trouble because they didn't manage their hearts when they were just on testosterone. Simple things in the world. Ron, it's a simple world. Keep it simple. I'm
going to steer you back because I think we've established pretty firmly that there's no evidence that steroids cause cancer.
No.
I don't know if there is any actual evidence, any data to support that growth hormone
so that's why
causes cancer.
I do apologize. I steered off the track because I'm ADD guy. You brought me back. You gave me some Ritalin, and you gave right in my veins.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Growth hormone peptides that increase your own endogenous production of growth hormone, IGF-1, we all know about these things. The scary thing is this. If you have a cancer cell, if you have cancer in your body, the concern is, and I've talked to expert doctors, hematology, oncology guys, if you have that in your body, the potential for growing it is going to be there. It's a growth stimulant. It's a growth agent. When they, you know why they have IGF-1 in the medical lab? Not for anti-aging places. They use it, Ron, to measure if they've killed the cancer off. And so it's called organ, it's an organ, organ cancer, pancreatic cancer, maybe brain sarcoma. They use markers once they remove the cancer with either surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. They use IGF. I learned years ago. I was like, that's really interesting. No one in the world knows this. So doctors know it, and people that are smart know it. So if you measure IGF-1 and it's low or normal, everyone's normal, by the way. No one's really low, and unless you have a brain trauma, and you have pan-hypopituitarism, then you need growth hormone, and then thyroid and adrenal. You need everything, but this is not this. So when you measure it and you increase your IGF-1, which, Ron, it works. Growth hormone, depending on what you're getting and who you're getting it from, it does increase IGF-1 alpha. Wow. Now, I don't want mine to be up. So that, again, I've seen lymphoma. And I tell them too, sir, you think all these guys in lymphoma that see me, never brain cancer, but lymphomas and different types of other colon cancers, colorectal cancer I've seen, and they have growth hormone for a while because they go to anti-aging places. Millions of people go. And they say, Doc, I know I did this. I gave myself growth hormone for a month, 2 months, maybe a year, maybe a couple of years on and off. And I always reassure them. I say, sir, we don't even know. But let me tell you something right now. This guy up there in Canada, Isaac, he's not on any growth factors right now. I can guarantee you that.
Well, I don't think he's on anything performance enhancing now.
But the doctors are going to tell him. He has oncologists on board. He has neurosurgeons and he has oncologists and internal medicine hospitalists. He's got a few doctors. Okay, I assume his heart and his kidneys okay. He doesn't have those doctors. Hopefully not. So they're coming in the room. They're all working together as a unit, as a team. And they did a history. They asked him what drugs he's on. And I'm sure they shrugged their shoulders. Hopefully they were not aggressive and mean to him because it doesn't help now. Yeah. But they're going to put in the charts that he was on IGF and I assume IGF.
Purportedly, theoretically.
Here's what I'm worrying about. Let's get right to the fucking end of the show and the meat of the show. Are we seeing this come in home now? Are we seeing it now? because now, and this is rare. Now, how long has IGF been used? We all knew Rich Piana. Not many guys use IGF-1, and if it was, it's bunkus.
Well, it's very cost prohibitive, very much so.
But in the last couple of years, and this, my statements are for the douchebag and for the gurus and all the haters. You know what? I think IGF-1, it's being used now, and I think it's being used because I see guys coming in. I say, how do you afford, Doc? You know, for a couple of grand, you can get the stuff now.
Yeah.
I want a dialogue on this, guys. So if we are seeing in the last couple of years, 5 years, it's not 10 years, but in the last 10 years, growth, real growth hormone, insulin, peptides, IGF-1. Come on, Ron, we're talking big stuff here. This is a show for smart guys. Doctors watching this right now, I have a lot of doctors that follow me, they don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
So is this a manifestation of a synergy? You know what that means, synergy.
Yeah.
1 + 1 + 1 + 1, and this is still rare. But I'm telling you guys, if we see more and more of this stuff, it's going to be sad, but there's a point now, Ron, in this show, we have to say it. Okay, steroids are steroids. I'm not giving a goddamn blessing on them. People love them, though, man. It's fun. It's great. You feel good. Is there a line between some steroids and watching the heart stuff and the kidney stuff and trying to, you know, but is there a point now in modern bodybuilding that we're going to see, here we are, we're going to start to see more cancers?
Yeah. Well, like you said, I mean, these cancer cells can be latent. They can be dormant for years and years, right?
Absolutely.
So maybe you would have got cancer when you're 60 or 70, but now because you're 250, 280 pounds ripped on stage and you're using all these fairly new agents in the scheme of things,
yes,
maybe it's going to accelerate. We're going to see guys 30, 35 years old developing cancer at an astronomical rate compared to, you know, years ago.
That's why we need to do a registry. I need to open up I'm working on it. It's not that it's so politically hard to do, just no money. No one gives a shit. The universities, I'm not putting them down. They care. I have a few universities that want to do it. But then how do I do it with my day job? And so a registry would be this. You'd have an anonymous registry for men on steroids. Forget America, the whole world. I think Generation Iron showed us that this is a big world now, and the bodybuilding is exploding all over the world now, right, Ron?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's good to see. That's great to see. Of course, we love his brotherhood, right? So, sisterhood, brotherhood. So, but what do we need to bring these people in and to study what they're doing to themselves ethically, at least an observational registry, and then track this stuff? Because, Ron, 10 years from now, 50 years from now, are we going to look back and say, why didn't we start studying and give them data? So men know, and women, they know, you know, maybe steroids are okay, you know, to a certain point. Game on, man, but be careful. But when you start combining steroids, growth factors, insulin, and you push a point, forget if you have a propensity for cancer, you're going to have cancer because your threshold to have it was here. Now you just lowered it so low that, you know, if you get a little sunburn, that's going to be a melanoma. Now, I've seen a lot of melanomas, man. Melanomas are malignant. That's toxic stuff. I've seen multiple patients die from melanoma. So, are you going to wreck your? I know it's I know it's going to happen. I know it. I can feel it. I can sniff it because I see it in my patients. And you look at these bodies, Ron. This is new. This is new. Come on, Ron. This is all growth hormone and shit.
I think unless you could demonstrate with hard data to all these bodybuilders that they had something like an 80 or 90% chance of getting cancer within a couple of years, it wouldn't deter that many because they all feel like they have to be on the same playing field. And I talk to a lot of national level people, a lot of pros.
No, you do.
The vast majority of them, they're all on growth hormone. Everyone across the board is on growth hormone now.
Now,
even,
yes.
You know, people in local shows doing figure girls, they're on growth hormone.
And it works.
It works. It's fantastic, from what I hear. But yeah, I'm too cheap. But they don't feel they could
Thank God.
compete. Well, I mean, my dad died of cancer. I mean, I had uncles, aunts, cousins. Cancer it's all over my family. So it's probably a good thing for me that I didn't ever invest in it, because I might not be talking to you right now. But yeah, unless you could show them that they were almost certain to get cancer and it was going to happen pretty soon, it wouldn't change anyone's minds. They're like, well, gotta get my pro card. Well, gotta get top 5 in a pro show. And you know, if everyone else is using XYZ, they have to use XYZ.
But are we at a curve? And is this show today, between up in Boston, New York, and Fort Lauderdale, the sun going down, is this going to get lost to the world and no one's going to hear this call? And that, you know, again, I'm not saying steroids are okay, but you know, you don't die from cancer from steroids.
Right.
So, and do we shift now with a mind, and I don't know, what should we call, you know, Mannion up and say, hey Mannion, I have to have fun with it. I gotta have fun now. Should we? I know we're not, you know, Mannion. Oh my Lord. So, do we call him up and say, let's go to classic bodybuilding, because you know, let's steroids, you know, let's try to regulate it somehow and try to make it so it's even playing field, and the genes. Come on, it's going to be more genetic and hard training, and we're going to get back, you know, those classic days, and you're going to look at those bodies and say, look, like these are amazingly, to the person in the street, holy shit, that's too muscular and too big. But to guys like us, we really like that, and that's cool, and it's hard work. Ron, come on. This is a shit show now with, I knew it, with the first thing I thought of and everyone's thinking of is a freaking massive tumors like this in this young man's brain. You don't see this. And look, Emma Carver, look at that shit with his lungs working. Come on, you don't see it.
Well, you know, you talk about bringing things back to the classic ideals, and classic physique has certainly helped with that. But I mean, I don't want to throw, you know, I don't want to disparage or start any rumors or anything like that. But you know, the assumption is that the open bodybuilders are the ones pumping these massive amounts of drugs and the growth and the IGF and the insulin, and the other guys aren't. But that's not the case. They're all across the board. Everyone. I just told you, figure girls are on growth hormone. It's not like, I don't know how or what they're doing to keep their waists a lot smaller than the open guys. I suspect it's more related to the volume of food, because the classic guys aren't pounding down
calories,
5,000 to 8,000 calories, and you know, eating like 1,000 grams of carbs a day or anything like that.
And they're back off, and the insulin, you know. But Ron, come on now, Ron. Steroids are bad enough at the high doses. Let's get honest with it. Now we're throwing in tons of multiple growth factors, growth hormone and IGF, God knows whatever else, and the peptides, and then on top of that, Ron, we're pumping in insulin and all those calories.
I mean, it's a recipe. Just eating a lot of calories puts you at increased risk of cancer, doesn't it?
It does, though. Oxidative damage. So, I mean, when I'm doing my anti-aging stuff, I take metformin. Metformin, and I mean, there's a big, oh, you guys did a nice article, man. Nice article, muscular development. Game on. Hey, metformin lowers testosterone. So you know what? Take some testosterone. That's off the record, folks. But I mean, so you know, if you read about the mitogenic and the physics, the physiology, if you will, of cancer, I know it. I can sniff it. That we're pushing the envelope with this huge muscle tissue growth, and you're getting other tissue to grow. Done. I'm done with the show. There's nothing more to say. It sucks. It sucks. Beware, people. Don't go there, man. And the steroids, Jesus Christ, that's enough. But I mean, adding all this shit together, Ron, I think we really hit a pinnacle. We hit a period in the modern world of bodybuilding that we're going to look back on until they can do real myostatin inhibitors and gene doping, and that's going to be next. But we're taking all these agents, and then we have the cellular damage, and then here we are. I think we hit it finally, and we're heading into it now, Ron. And it's going to, because no one's going to hear the show. Until the bodies are literally dropping like flies. That's when people will finally pay attention. They keep saying, Ron, where are the bodies? And I'm like, you want to come to my office for the next couple of days? I mean, the kidney bodies, heart bodies, they're walking, but they feel like crap. and they're younger than me.
Wow.
So, I mean, the bodies, I mean, do you need bodies on the ground, Ron?
That's what it generally takes to,
You know?
cause someone to make a big change like that. When they, like I said, when they think their whole career, their whole future as a physique competitor hinges on, I need to use these things because the people I'm competing against are on them. And I have that mentality. That's how messed up it is. I can't compete with these guys because I'm not using growth and insulin and IGF, so I'm not even going to bother because what's the point? It's like being, if you're not on those, it's almost like you're natural now.
You're feeling good, but see, that's why we gotta come. I'm not. You're the expert. You're the bodybuilding culture guy. I'm not me. We gotta put some cap and limit. And it's like, remember drug testing, the polygraph? Yeah. So listen to this. Here's my idea. Maybe you have some kind of honesty system where you're going to compete in organizations and say, look, only steroid, only steroid. Is that funny, Ron? I mean, is that dumb?
Well, I mean,
no growth, no insulin, and no IGF, just steroids.
Well, we have new divisions springing up every couple of years, so maybe there could be like a steroids only division or something.
Oh my God! Can you imagine this? I'm saying this.
Can you take Clen? Can you still take thyroid though? I don't know. What's up?
Oh my God! And diuretics. I see a lot of damage to the kidneys on that, as you know.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, Doctor. Well, we've had an interesting talk today. Some good speculations. Have I kept you from like a party on a yacht to do the show today? I feel bad.
We got some mellow plans for the night, Ron. I got to put the thinking cap on tomorrow.
That's all right.
I'll do an Instagram post, man. I'll do an Instagram post from the place and, keep the people out of it. But I want to invite everyone down now to check out the office. And the good news is, as of probably January, the 1st in January, I have a full-time manager living in Florida. We got a manager in Florida, and we got a manager in Connecticut full-time now. And then just I go back and forth. And because the secret is we're going to be hiring doctors for probably Florida. I leave the Northeast to myself. I don't want to grow. I want to grow Florida.
I don't want to reveal your whole business plan here or anything, but you have an office in Fort Lauderdale, right? But
yeah.
That's only for you. You're the only physician in that office?
Just me, baby. One anabolic, metabolic doc. But there's enough business for me. I go back and forth.
So what happens to that office the other 24 days out of the month? Oh, geez.
Yep.
Okay, it seems a little wasteful to me, Doc. What do I know?
But hey, this is Ron. It's been a big investment of my money. But you know what, though, Ron? I love it.
Okay.
I love it, and Florida is blowing up. There's a waiting list. I do have 20 guys that have paid for the consults that are waiting. I'm sorry. I'll get to them in the next January, then February. Hey, you got to wait, man, for a little bit. Get your ass in now. But my plan, you know what, Ron? I love what I do. I transitioned I don't really do primary care anymore.
Right.
I got a few sweethearts left only because I love them and they've been good to me. Yeah. Otherwise, everyone else is fired. No, Ron, I can say it.
I know.
I can say it. Hey, I didn't do it overnight. I'm so happy to say that I am dedicated to a few people in my primary care. And if they're watching, you guys know who you are. And God bless you for staying with me. I stayed with you. But the future and the now is men on testosterone. I want to be the best doctor for men on testosterone replacement worldwide. And I'm expanding that with a cadre of doctors. I'm training doctors to work with me, and then I'll just be doing all this. All I'll do is this, and take care of some patients. But I'm gonna set up. It's men's health, testosterone replacement, an anabolic doc. It's anabolic recovery and cardiometabolic. All I do, Ron.
Well, in 10 years, maybe there'll be a whole chain across the country of scientific aging, Dr. O'Connor's scientific aging centers.
Ron, that's what. So after Florida, where do you think we're going, Ron? Where's the next state we're getting a license?
Probably LA, I'm guessing.
Nevada. No.
Nevada. Okay.
I can't stand California. You just can't take it. So they got to twist my arm to get me in there. But guess where we're going to go? Right next door. We're going to go to Las Vegas.
Oh boy, yeah.
But give that a year. Give that a little time, and then I have to go from Connecticut to Florida to Vegas. So I'm not doing that. I'm going to hire doctors to do it, though.
Yeah. You don't want to be in these horrible places like Fort Lauderdale and Las Vegas.
You
want to be back in.
It's all fun. I love the media. I'm writing. I just submitted to you guys a super big, for an article for February, and it's a special article, and I don't want to say your editors. I don't want to even say the names.
Yeah.
We worked on it back, and you know who it is.
Alan. Yeah.
Alan, right?
Yeah.
So what a great. So this is an article. I don't want to say it's an old one that was never published from 2012.
Oh wow, like a lost episode.
Yes.
Okay, February is going to be the first issue with the 2 docs.
When?
That'll be the February MD. It's going to be at the Anabolic doc, and we're calling George Dr. Testosterone.
Are you kidding?
You got to have a catchy name, yeah, Dr. Testosterone.
You know what? You guys got good karma because I'm overloaded with interviews, and I don't even take. Fuck them all. I do ones I want. You guys are always there for me. It's what it is. We're going forward. My own media is phenomenal, which I keep. You like my estrogen, my managing estrogen on testosterone steroids. That's blowing up right now.
Yeah.
I love it, guys. The karma is so good. The whole world is emailing, and I'm nicely overloaded. But I wanted that, and that's how it goes. But I'm always there. I'm really always there for the common guy, the real guy, because I can't stand the fucking douchebags.
Well, I appreciate it, Doctor. I appreciate you.
I really mean it, though, Brian.
Your roots.
And I told you guys, I don't need to get rich. Number one, I need to have a good time and do what my calling is. Yeah. And I mean it. My money's where my mouth is.
Oh, absolutely, because
I love it. Because I ain't getting rich. I ain't getting rich doing this. What I do, I'm doing okay. But you know what, though, Ron?
Yeah.
And from all, buddy, this is a great thing to do, and I love you guys. I love doing the media is everything to me now.
Right. All right, well, I want to let you get back to that hot tub situation behind you. I can't really see.
Hold on.
Do you have any bikinis going on, or?
No HIPAA law breaking.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know. Look, Ron, look.
Now it looks pretty sedate. Oh, boy. Yeah, it looks like a storm coming in, Doc. I'd be...
It's bad down here.
I want to save the yacht for some other night with more clear skies or something.
We got the beverages waiting. The martinis are waiting, Ron.
Well, let's remind everyone again, because we only got a couple shopping... Not even 2 weeks left to shop for Christmas, everyone. So Hanukkah's over. You guys missed out on that. It's America on Steroids, A Time to Heal. You can get it at the doctor's websites, metabolicdoc.com, anabolicdoc.com, and amazon.com. Also, go to YouTube to check out Anabolic Doc videos. He's dropping them every week. A couple great ones pop out every damn week. So you want to check those. Those are a little more specific. You don't have to listen to me, berating the doctor and interrupting him with stupid stories. So it's just pure Dr. O'Connor.
We're both ADD, Ron. It's okay.
It's true. We all are. So thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll be back next week. And that's all.